All right, hole 10. This is par 3. It's about 360 feet. You can see the basket is straight ahead. The tricky part about this one is it's on a strip of grass that's about, I don't know, 30 feet wide, 20 feet maybe total. There's like a little creek behind it, and then there is the walkway or the driveway, whatever the heck you want to call it, right on this side of it. So the grass is inbounds, any of that other stuff or beyond is OB. So with this headwind today, crossy headwind, it's gonna be a little tougher. Okay, this is tricky because normally I would throw something a little bit floatier because this almost works for a hex. But with this wind, I want something that's gonna fight. So I've got a Tesla. So this is a beefy Tesla. So I'm gonna try to lay it out to the right and let the disc come back and do the work when it fights the wind. Okay, it's fighting. Just get into the grass, really. Yeah, that's about what, like, as good as I can ask for without it getting across that little walkway. That was pretty good. Okay, this is a tough one in the wind. I'm about circle's edge. The wind is just carrying everything all over the place today. All right, just sit. Okay, I'm okay with that. This one's just better not go OB. Okay, this is hole 11. I know the sign said 350 feet, but UDisc says 390, and I tend to agree more with that. Plus, with this being uphill, it plays much, much longer. So you can see you've got this little gap. Shoot the gap. Basket is about 400 back on the side of a hill with some junk right behind it. So obviously you don't want to go long because that stuff you can't really get back through. It's really tight. I have seen some people who are not mortals take a huge anhyzer up over the tennis courts here and let it swoop back down. In fact, shout out to Mitchell Clock, who aced with that shot, if I believe, which is absolutely insane. But yeah, punch something that's going to get you some distance right through that gap. Okay. I'm going to try Zenith. Give it a little bit of hyzer. The branch is kind of caught her, but she's still cruising. You know, I'll take it. That's not terrible. All right, so the Zenith found its way into the squishy area of the course. This kind of flat ground stays soft for a while in the spring. So I'm a little over 100 out. So I've got a tempo. I'm just going to forehand it up there, and if it runs it, it runs it. That's just a bonus. Yeah, that's my favorite kind of putt. Don't try too hard. Okay. Drop in 3 here feels okay. 2's great. 3 isn't going to hurt you on this hole too much. All right, this is hole 12, and it is 225 feet of what the heck do you want me to do? So as you can see, of course, we throw down here, and the basket is up higher to the left or the right. You're not going to see it from where we are. So it is basically a punch and pray kind of a hole. Most of the time, you just put something on a forehand hyzer and just let it punch through the trees if it can. But many times that just results in, look, I'm back down in this gully again. So this hole is a pain. I feel like it's the one out here that, well, one of 2 that either needs a redesign or just a reimagining. But yeah, this one is just put something on a hyzer and deal with what you get. All right, we're trying to resist her. Forehand hyzer and just deal with what we get. Yeah, that sucks. All right. Kind of got stuck in a bummer spot. Saved by a tree root. Grab my disc. But now I get to putt up and out. This spot kind of stinks. Into a headwind, by the way. Good enough. Happy to be off this hole. All right, this is hole 13. I mentioned this earlier. It's a whole lot of nothing. Just distance, that's pretty much it. It's about 671 feet. I believe it's par 4, or at least probably should be. You can see there is a church parking lot on the left, which would be OB. I mean, this hole is changed slightly, but it's really what it's always been. It's just been a lot of distance and not much in between. There used to be like a bunch of bushes not too far off here, but they recently took, well, not recently, a couple years ago, took those out, filled all that up area with stuff they dredged out of the river. So now it's just nothing. Plant a tree, please. That'd be great to see. Okay, we have some ripping headwind here. You can probably hear it in the microphone right now, and I apologize. So I've got a really stable octane. I'm going to just try and put this out there as far as it can go. I have a feeling that even though this is super overstable, the wind's still going to flip it because it's going crazy right now. She's turning more than usual. Still super beefy though for an octane. You know, it's not bad. I'll take it. Okay, I range found this and I threw it 400 into a headwind, so I'm super stoked on that. But that leaves me about 320 into a headwind. So I've got the glow resistor and I'm just gonna try to mash this thing as hard as I can and see if I can't get her up there. Got a church service coming in. It's taking a while. Get a little window here. It's not helping with the wind. Okay, I don't know that it's gonna make it all the way there, but that's the line. No, it's definitely short. So wind killed this. Wind killed this big time. So circle 2, maybe edge of circle 2 to get there. So we're gonna take a little stepper. Don't want to send it too hard though. This wind is just gonna carry it and take it. On this hole, I'll take the 4 this time. Okay, this is hole 14. It's 310 feet. You won't be able to necessarily see the basket, but it is behind that great big pine that is straight ahead of here. So, of course, you don't want to go past the sidewalk to the left, and you don't want to go too deep because there's trees back there. So, I mean, you want to put something either between the trees or on the outside here that's going to fade in towards the basket back there. Give yourself a nice short putt. Okay, got a glow resistor. The wind is now left to right, so I can lay this out there and the wind's gonna help push it back. It's left to right tail, so it's gonna stable out too. So I'm gonna give this room to work. A little bit of height. There is a power line on the left, which sucks, but you know, it is what it is. Oh, there's a car coming. Okay, wind lifted it, wind dropped it, and she stuck and rolled towards the basket. Don't mind that at all. Not bad. I'm cool with this. I'll take a 2. It's been a bit of a drought. Let's get back on the train. Okay, this is hole 15, par 3. It is about 220 feet, maybe 212, somewhere in there. So, as you can see, we are on the top of a hill. Lots of wind, as has been the case through every hole. But you might be able to see the basket between these 2 trees. It's right there. Here's the thing. There's a huge hill on the backside of that basket. Go straight down into the parking lot. Parking lot and beyond is OB. So you want to kind of be careful with something. You know, you can forehand something over here on the left as long as it hyzers in at the right spot, or you can hyzer shot backhand something over here on the outside and have it just hit and stick. So the options are there. You just do not want to go a little bit too far because that thing is going to roll away and it's gone. All right, let's try a pyro. I could probably get a skip off the hill over here on the left, but I always prefer the forehand on this one. Oh, well, okay, good tree, as long as it didn't roll down the hill. we go. That's better. Okay, this is hole 16. In my opinion, one of the prettier holes here in the Tri-City area. The pad is up here on the top of the hill. As you can see, way across this gully, you have the basket set into that little tiny bunch of trees. You have all this kind of sweeping down the hills, the wind sweeping down, so it kind of messes with your disc. This is kind of a bowl area where it just kind of swirls. So you got to really, you got to like punch something. You don't want it to turn over and get off over here to the right, because then you end up with a low ceiling from the trees. But I mean, just keep it straight down the gully, something that's got a lot of glide to it. You can kind of punch 400 plus feet and you can get there. Okay. Can't really feel much wind over here right now, which is weird because I'm at the top of the hill. It's kind of sweeping down. So it's going to push my disc right to left a little bit. So I'm just going to take a fission photon and just send it straight at it and let the disc do the work. Not turning an ounce. Well, a little bit. It stayed straight. Finished out in the end. Okay. Probably left it with about 60. It's a little further out than I thought, but it's still like, you know, inside of 100 feet. It wasn't a terrible tee shot, but I'm just going to take a tempo and put it up there. Skip off the roots and bingo. Ooh, wind almost pushed that right back out. Holy cow. Okay, this is another really cool scenic hole. 17, par 3, about 300 feet. You can see we are up on a hill. We're throwing downhill. There's a few trees that kind of frame up the basket way down there, and you do have a creek right in front of it. There's a hyzer line, and then the low line, the punch with a forehand, is going to be underneath the branches of those trees. Either way you go, can't go wrong. Okay, 300 feet. Sounds like a shot for a resistor. Usually put this up to the right, let it hyzer down. I have skipped off the top of the basket on this a couple of times. That's going to just carry across. Yep, perfect. That'll do. Okay, inside the circle. Basket is terribly tilted here, but she held. All right, let's go, another 2. Okay, this is hole 18. Little dinker. It's about 180 feet, 190 feet, and you do have a creek that kind of goes and winds around the back, which you can see here on the left. Just don't go long. That's the only thing. Okay, 180 feet is just a little standstill here at the pad. Some people jump putt this, like my friend Kane. He'll do it. And sit. Beauty, beauty.